So welcome to our little session tonight about the Member Advisory Committee, lovingly known as the MAC. And tonight I am honored to have our Board Development Chair, Susan Thorman, who also is on the Member Advisory Committee, or MAC. And so together we are going to explain what the MAC is, and hopefully we'll have some interest in people. We need representation from every area of the council. And so welcome to our little presentation. Susan, I don't know if you got to see the presentation. This is Susan on the left. At a different kickoff in a different year. And so the Member Advisory Committee has members at large. And it really is a communication connection between the Board of Trustees and all the members of the council. And so part of it is for when a member or a group of members has an idea about a policy change for the board, or maybe an operational change that goes to the CEO. MAC is really the funnel that takes all those in, talks about them, and sometimes we'll make a recommendation, or sometimes we'll just turn it over to a person who can help. And we always say at the MAC that feedback is a gift. So, you know, the information that can come back to us doesn't always have to be when there's a problem. We love to have feedback when there's not a problem as well, too. And so that volunteers on the ground are able to have someone to talk to and know that their concerns are being listened to. So that is kind of the job of the MAC. I've included, this is really hard to read, but in general, at a regular kickoff, we would hand these out, but it's actually a position description for the MAC member at large, Member Advisory Committee. And you can see it's responsible, it's elected by the Board of Trustees, and the term is 3 years. Girls over the age of 14 can be on the MAC, but they only serve a 1-year term and the maximum of 2 years. So the Standing Member Advisory Committee serves as a connection between the Board of Trustees and the members of the council. As such, MAC members serve as an advisory team providing policy input to the board and operational input to the CEO. For qualifications, you must be a registered member of Girl Scouts of the USA, Girl Scouts Heart of Michigan, and you must be at least 14 years of age. We could have adult males who are members can also be members of the MAC, and then girls who are between 14 and 18. So the responsibilities are basically seeking input from wherever you are, wherever you hear about things that affect Girl Scouting, so that that input can be directed in the right direction, so that we can make sure that if there are concerns, if there are compliments, if there are issues, that they come to the forefront. You know, we don't want to have things, everyone else is talking about it, but the people that can fix it haven't heard it yet. And that's really what the MAC is about. They do receive a report back from the board as far as actions that come back. And they also can submit to the board development for considerations, nominees for the Board Development Committee. And Susan happens to be the chair of the Board Development Committee. Did you want to talk about that a little bit, Susan?
Sure. Thanks, Connie. The Board Development Committee is designed to look out amongst our population, not only our Girl Scout population, but all of our entire region and council, and look for folks who might be good candidates to be on the Board of Trustees. And so the MAC can give advice to the board development and say, hey, I know this person in my community, they own a dealership, or they might be a banker or something else. Like a really good board of trustee member. And then it's my job and my committee's job to go out and interview those folks if they would be a good fit for our board of trustees. So it's another element of what the MAC does, which is to be the ears on the ground for the board of trustees and to listen to members, their concerns. And in this case, when you're talking about the development committee, it's looking to members when they say, hey, I have somebody who would be a really good candidate to be on the board of trustees of Girl Scouts Heart of Michigan. One of the things you should know is that our MAC can accommodate between 18 and 24 people. So some people ask, oh, I know it's a small group. It doesn't have to be a small group. We're always looking for volunteers to be on the MAC. This is different than being on the board of trustees. And we can accommodate up to 24 people to have a conversation about the nuts and bolts of our council. And we can accommodate 6 to 10 girls. So technically you could have 34 people on the MAC giving advice to the board of trustees and the CEO. One of the examples I give, and then I'll turn it back over to Connie, but one of the examples that I give was when the Boy Scouts ran into some problems there and they were going to invite girls to join, there was a big uproar. And it seemed like GSUSA really wanted to use the Boy Scouts situation to our advantage in a not so friendly manner. And I see a lot of names on this call tonight, and I know a lot of you voiced concerns at the service unit conference that we had, as well as some of the kickoffs, about how we didn't want to go low, we wanted to go high. And so GSUSA and our board was looking at ways to take advantage of the Boy Scout situation. And you, our members, all said, no, we don't want to do that. We don't need a bumper sticker that says being a Scout is being a Girl Scout. We want a bumper sticker that says Girl Scouts are the best, and avoid the controversy with the Boy Scouts. And so those are the kinds of things that the MAC talks about and advises the Board of Trustees about. And that's just one example that I use. Some of the other examples are when there's a dues increase. So the folks who are on the MAC, they get that feeling from their troop leaders, they get that feeling from their service units, and then they come to the MAC meeting and we talk about it as a group, and then we give advice on those big ticket items to the Board of Trustees. So those are some of the bigger elements that the MAC is very vital to the Board of Trustees for. Advice on issues, advice on board development committee, and advice on actual Board of Trustee possibilities and candidates. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Connie.
Thanks, Susan. Wonderful explanation. The last little bullet on the position description, you notice we don't call them job descriptions, position description. It really is about a responsibility to get out and about where Girl Scouts are. And so when we have, as we have had in the past, kickoffs, so we're in person, the MAC always had someone there to man the table and listen to folks. If there's a big event and you're there, anything that you can talk to folks about and bring back to the MAC is good feedback. I think that as we move forward, and if we can have more members, that more feedback leads to better decision making. And so many times the members of the MAC are able to really give some council changing feedback. The other thing is that we have, and I'll show it at the end, a couple different ways that folks can give feedback that aren't through a person. So maybe someone's a little shy about talking one-on-one with somebody about a problem. There is a way that they can also give feedback that is not through a member of the MAC. So just to let folks know that. The first thing that if you're interested in being considered, there's a candidate profile, and I think I have to do this first to show you. This is on our website. If you go to gshom.org and just type in MAC in the search, you'll see. I didn't want to shrink this down so you couldn't see it, but this is basically the profile that you're asked to fill out, and some of the different questions, your education and experience, other organizations that you're affiliated with, Girl Scout experience, and then a little bit about you, your qualifications, your skills, and an interest statement. And so once this is completed and turned in, then there is an interview process that folks go through. And there we go. So if you go to the website and find the candidate profile and turn that in, you'll be scheduled for an interview. And if I think it's board members, correct, to do the interview?
Yes, it starts out with me, and then I can assign board members to do those interviews, or sometimes I just do them myself.
Okay.
Depending on how many there are, or if there's sometimes there might be a conflict or something, but we generally like pre-screen folks and then turn them over to board members to interview them as well.
And so if you're selected, your recommendation for approval is given to the board, and at their next meeting, they vote. And if they vote yes, then you become a member of the MAC. This is from the webpage, and it actually, in case when we're all done with this and you want to think, oh, I want to see about it again, this is actually a section from our webpage, and it kind of reviews what I've just said and Susan said. But you can see that there are two links there in the green, especially for the candidate profile. You can pull that right up and fill that out for you. And so I think that the mission statement is pretty important too. The mission of the Member Advisory Committee is to be informed advocators who listen to member voices in order to be change agents who have a positive impact by encouraging collaboration and communicating the value of girl-led Girl Scouting through consistent messaging. That is a really long sentence. But the members of the MAC really do have a real mission to make sure that everyone is heard, that all our members are heard. And that if there's, it's the democratic way to be heard. And we want to make sure that that happens at all times. On the website also, this is one of the ways that if you, a volunteer wants to give feedback, that they can fill out a feedback form on the website. It's on the same page as the MAC page. And just email it in, and then the MAC will review that at their next meeting. We also have, and I didn't have one to show, we also have cute little postcards that MAC members usually have, or we have them on the office, and you can give feedback that way. But it doesn't have to be on a special form. It doesn't have to be anything special. You can give us feedback however it's easy for you. Although writing feedback on Facebook is probably not the best way to do it. Because we don't want to have the discussion, especially if it's sensitive. We don't want to have that discussion on Facebook. If you're going to bring it to the MAC, then it probably should go straight to them. So, not to say that you can't put stuff on Facebook. I'm just saying we could use some discretion with that.
Connie, let me talk about what the time commitment is for a MAC member.
Good idea.
So the term that when you're chosen to be a MAC member and you've gone through all your interviews and everything, it's a 3-year term. And recently the board of directors, the board of trustees changed the the terminology in our bylaws. You used to not be able to have consecutive terms. To do that now, it just seems to make the running of things a little bit easier. As far as time commitment, it's a quarterly meeting, and it's done usually over the phone. In the past, we've only met once a year in person. So we were doing a GoToMeeting before pandemic, and it's usually about an hour on the phone, depending on how many issues there are. A diverse group of people, so that we're touching all areas of council, so that girls from all area of council, that we have members from all area of council. And again, it can be anyone from a troop leader, it can be a parent, it can be a service unit leader. We're looking for a wide range of people to come together and look over these kind of high level policies, issues, and decisions. And also we want a diverse group of people, so that we're not just hearing from Ann Arbor, we're not just hearing from Lansing. We want to hear from all over. So that the time commitment isn't a lot. It's a 1 hour, maybe 1.5 hour meeting every quarter. And again, I've only had one in-person meeting a year for the last couple of years, so everything is done the way that we're doing things tonight. I would encourage everyone to apply, because again, we want a diverse look at our council and be able to bring those bubbling issues right up to the Board of Trustees or discuss them amongst ourselves. If you have any questions, Connie's email is here. And you can always contact the help desk, and they'll give you my email as well. I think it might even be on the MAC page. If you're jotting it down, it's my last name, Thorman, THORMAN, SLT @yahoo.com. And you can contact me at that email address, or you can call me on my cell, 586-764-6045. And I can talk to you or answer any of the questions that you might have about it. Thank you.
Great reminder, Susan, and don't forget about the girls. A girl member on the MAC really can teach girls a lot about cooperative decision making and how things happen. And I've seen girls grow a lot by being on a committee such as the MAC with other adults. And it really opens our eyes sometimes to have that perspective of a younger girl member. So thank you, Susan. I know that is Kelly on the call? Do we know?
Yes, Kelly Hassong is. Yes, she is.
Kelly, did you want to give your perspective? I hate to put you on the spot, but I know you're strong.
So, yeah, I joined the MAC, what is 4 years ago now, for the last convention. I mean, it's an opportunity for us to just bring up our concerns, what we like, what we don't like. I try to get some positive stuff in there too, because we want to let the council know what they're doing that we really like, and we want them to continue that. But yeah, I reach out to the other troop leaders in my area, which I'm from Jackson area, so in Lenawee County, Irish Hills. So sometimes it seems like our voices don't get heard a lot because we're such a small area. So I like to get that information into and share it with the MAC. So it's been a great experience for me. My daughter is also a member. It's really opened her eyes as far as how big Girl Scouts really is. You know, it goes beyond the troop level. Gets her into the council level and to see everything that goes on. And I mean, it's a great experience for her.
Thanks, Kelly. Does anyone else have questions that they'd like answered?
You know, Connie, Kelly made a really good point. It's an opportunity for our leaders or our members to take that next step. It's if you're bleeding green, and you're like, okay, I'm a troop leader, I'm a service unit manager, you're kind of there. This is the next step. This is the nuts and bolts and next step to get people a little more deeply involved in Girl Scouting and in council activities. And so it's an opportunity for folks to kind of step it up to the next level and bring your girl along with you.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. I know that there are 100 people registered for the next session at that starts at 5. It is M2. It is about our new treats and reads vendor. And I know a lot of people are interested. So I'm going to say thank you for attending. And if you have any questions, give us a holler. Bye-bye.
Thank you.